I'm back, baby. Beer here, back at the Fantasy Bar. 6 of my favorite plays for Wednesday night in MLB, including my favorite value play returning to the lineup, a one-off bat against a popular pitcher, a few pitch-type matchups I think we can expose, and a beast of the night I think is worth every penny. Who is it? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Wednesday edition Beers Daily Fantasy Six-Pack. Seems like it's been forever, but vacation is over. We are back to the grindstone here. 6 guys fresh off the tap for you for this Wednesday slate. Thank you, as always, for stopping by and checking out the videos. Now, before we get into the plays, as always, first thing, click that thumbs up button, guys. That helps us out tremendously here on YouTube. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel, get notified when these videos are coming out. And lastly, if you're into sports betting at all, guys, go and check out scoresandodds.com/beer. Tons of betting information for you there. Premium picks, analytics, everything you need to help make you a better sports bettor. Take advantage of the special pricing here. Click the link below the video and go check it out, scoresandodds.com/beer. All right, 7 games to get into here. We've got 6 of my favorite plays. Let's start with our leadoff play, second base or outfield, Brandon Lowe of the Rays. So we always talk about recency bias, people looking at box scores. A lot of the newer people, that's all they're really looking at. It should definitely be something you look into, but it should not be the only thing that you look into. I think a lot of people make that mistake. So let's take advantage of that mistake here when people are going to pass on Brandon Lowe. Why? Very good matchup here. We talk about pitch types all the time here in the Fantasy Bar. And if you wonder where we get the information from, Plate IQ in our RotoGrinders premium suite of tools. But let's look at this matchup with Garrett Richards, who we know is going to throw a ton of fastballs. That's good news here for Brandon Lowe. 393 ISO against that pitch, along with a 432 WOBA. Solid against righties as well. ISO over 200, WOBA over 360. And Richards not only throws a lot of fastballs, also gives up a lot of hard contact to left-handed hitters, almost 44% to go along with a 350 weighted OBA. So good matchup here individually for Brandon Lowe. Recency bias should have him lower owned. Let's take advantage here, leading us off in the Wednesday six-pack. All right, let's go to the outfield for a big bopper here. We're going to one of my favorites, YORDAN ALVAREZ of the Astros. Now, you guys see him in here a lot for a reason. Big fan of Alvarez and big fan of his in this matchup here. Another guy not been quite as quiet as Lowe of late, starting to wake up a little bit, but I'm really expecting this bat to get going here. Dealt with an injury. I think he's over that. I think he can turn the corner on that, but let's look at some of the numbers here against righties. As you'd expect, WOBA at almost 370 over the past couple seasons here. ISO at 239. And Eshelman we have not seen this season, but brief stint in 2020 was a struggle against lefties. 400 WOBA allowed and a lot of hard contact at 45%. So Houston on a roll right now, hitting the ball, putting up runs. Alvarez going to get it going here. Pay these prices. Love this matchup here tonight for YORDAN ALVAREZ and the Houston Astros. All right, let's stay in the outfield here. We're going to go with our one-off play. I think he's going against a popular pitcher tonight. We're going with Adam Duvall of the Marlins. So you're never going to see many Marlins in the six-packs. We want to give some love to our Miami folk here with Adam Duvall, a longtime favorite of the Fantasy Bar here. Big-time hitter against left-handed pitching. That's what we get here tonight. Plus, really in the midst of a huge power surge here is Adam Duvall. 6 home runs over the last 10 games. We saw a couple huge games out of him recently with multi-home run games for 35, over 40 DraftKings points in some of those games. So we know this guy has GPP winning upside. You may not want to stack up Miami in this matchup, but love this spot for Duvall. And it's not only the power and his ability against lefties, very good against sinkers as well. We're talking about a WOBA and an ISO over 600 against that pitch, and Matz loves to throw it. It's his primary pitch to right-handed hitters at almost a 50% clip on average, and Matz solid, but righties have given him fits. 372 WOBA, 259 ISO, and a 37% hard contact rate, and solid leverage here. I'm expecting Matz to be a very popular pitcher in this matchup here, so you negate some of that ownership there with Duvall. The power upside is there, and the price is more than fair, under 4K on both sites. Love the spot tonight for Adam Duvall. All right, let's get some value in the outfield Little risky here, but we're going to roll with Michael Conforto of the Mets. Now, we have not seen Conforto for over a month. I'm expecting him back in that lineup tonight. If we don't get that, we will make some adjustments in the comment section. But if he's back in that lineup, I want him in my DFS lineups. And I know he has not been great this season. I understand that. Coming off an injury, that's going to keep people away as well. Well, guess what? We're going to get a 1-2% Michael Conforto in a plus matchup here. And let's look at that matchup with Mr. Wright. And we talked about a good sinker hitter with Adam Duvall. Michael Conforto in that same category, an even bigger sample size. Not as gaudy numbers as Duvall, but very solid with a WOBA over 450 and an ISO approaching 400 against that pitch. Now, we know Wright going to throw a ton of different pitches, but this is his primary pitch. Two left-handed hitters, we're going to get it almost a third of the time on average. And Wright has had his issues with lefties as well, over a 400 WOBA, 258 ISO, and a 41% hard contact rate. If Conforto back in that lineup, should be in our lineups here tonight at these cheap prices on both FanDuel and DraftKings. All right, moving on. Let's get you my favorite starting pitcher. We're going to go to the mid-range with James KAPRIELIAN of the A's. Now, obviously, there's some high-end pitching tonight that you can pay up for if you can find a way. If not, I like going to the mid-range here in this matchup with the Texas Rangers. We'll look at them here in a second, but let's look at KAPRIELIAN's numbers here. Over the past couple starts, 7 strikeouts for him in each of the last 2 starts. And in fact, if we look at the last 7 starts, which encompasses this entire season, 6 or more strikeouts in 5 of the 7. So been pretty consistent in that department. Now, let's look at the Rangers. We know a team that will strike out a lot. In fact, 8th highest strikeout rate in all of baseball and over 25% against right-handed pitching. And KAPRIELIAN has definitely struggled with left-handed hitters. That will look like a concern on paper when you look at some of the lefties in this lineup. But let's look at them real quick, and I'll show you why it's not as much of a concern. Holt, ISO over 100, is not going to bring a ton of power against him. Gallo, much better lefty on lefty. The numbers really lag behind against right-handed pitching. Lowe, probably the best they have, and that's only a 339 WOBA against righties. And then you have Calhoun with an ISO barely over 100 and a WOBA under 300 against righties. So those are the 4 projected left-handed bats. If those are the bats we're worried about, so be it. I am not worried one bit about those left-handed bats for Texas. I love this spot here. Don't think the ownership will be big, and the price is fantastic in a matchup like this with this Texas Rangers lineup. KAPRIELIAN in a great spot here tonight against the Texas Rangers. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for Wednesday night. But before we do that, we want to continue our Beast of the Night contest. Say thank you to you guys for checking out the video. All you got to do, get in the comment section right below the video and guess fantasy points on DraftKings for my highest scoring hitter of all the 5 bats I'm going to give you. Who is the highest scoring hitter and what is their fantasy output? Closest guess is going to win themselves either a free 3-day pass to RotoGrinders Premium or a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. Let's wrap this baby up. My favorite play for Wednesday night. You know that's the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time. We're not going far. We're staying with the Oakland A's. We're going to first base, and we're rolling with Matt Olson, tonight's Beast of the Night. Now, absolutely love this matchup here for Matt Olson. First, let's look at recent form. The guy has been fantastic. In fact, been one of the most consistent bats that we can find. Hits in 18 of the last 20 games. 5 multi-hit games for him over the last 10. We know, going to bring big power to the table and very good against righties. In fact, over a 400 WOBA for him this season against righties and an ISO approaching 300. Also hits fastballs very well. And we know Fultonowitz will throw a bunch of those. In fact, about a third of the time, fastballs to lefty, 315 ISO against that pitch. And you know by now, if Fulte is on the slate, I want left-handed bats. This guy has been horrendous against lefties. You see the nice mix of fly balls, hard contact. That's great for power hitters. Just a 12% strikeout rate against lefties and a big 443 WOBA allowed, an ISO at almost 300. Power hitter's dream spot here against Fultonowitz, and the best one they got from the left side of the plate. Matt Olson in a smash spot tonight. Easily my favorite play on the board and tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that'll wrap us up here for Wednesday night in the Fantasy Bar. Any comments, questions, feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video. Don't forget, fantasy points for my highest scoring hitter on DraftKings for a shot at some free RotoGrinders Premium. And guys, go check out scoresandodds.com. RotoGrinders.com/beer. Click that link below the video. Go check out all the great information and premium picks over there for RotoGrinders.com. I am Beer saying salut, guys. It's great to be back. Thank you for checking out the video. We'll be back once again on Friday talking more MLB. Until then, guys, good luck tonight, and we'll see you.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist.